at some point you were characterizing yourself as a weak man.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you notice a transition in yourself that you started changing to be a strong man?
Well, when I finally looked in the mirror and said that I'm weak, when I finally quit justifying, I mean, I knew I was weak. I knew I was weak ever since I got out of the Marine Corps. I knew that. And if you're weak, you know you're weak. I mean, you know better than anybody, right? But what I had done and what the world had helped me do was justify that weakness. Kind of like what you said, right? Like, man, you've gone through so much. I mean, you know how many times I'd heard, well, Dakota, you've done enough for this country. And maybe to you, man, I'm going to keep doing for people until I'm dead, right? Until I can't do anymore. And that, because honestly, like, I feel selfish about it. Like, I love people. Like, I don't care. I don't care what God you pray to. I don't care who you vote for. Like, if you need help, like, I want to help you, right? And like, that's, to me, it's selfish because like I get so much out of being able to help people, right? And I love it. And but yeah, I mean, when I had finally looked in the mirror and I was like, man, you're fucking weak. You're an embarrassment. And then I set my goals of where I wanted to be, right? And that was it. That was the path, right? And I got on the path, and that's what it takes.
What were some of those goals?
Look, like working out, right? Like if I can't be good, I can't help anybody else be good. Working out, like detoxification, and getting rid of the shit that's making you worse, right? Like who are you putting your time into? Where are you putting your time? What are you consuming, right? Like, people talk about nutrition all the time. Nutrition's not just about food. I mean, a lot of it is food, but nutrition is about everything you consume, from the people that you're around to the content that you're looking at. Like, if you're depressed and you're watching Fox News all day and you're listening to all these people talk shit, like, there's plenty of places for people to tell you what your problem should be and what your worries should be. Man, if it's not going to affect me or my family, or it's not going to affect the things that I can do, and it's not going to directly affect my community, I don't fucking care. Right? And like, when I started getting rid of and trimming the fat, the better life got, right? The more focused and dialed in you get, and 1% better every day, man. So look, getting sleep. Right? Like, I'm a big mental health advocate. It probably doesn't sound like that when I'm saying PTSD is LIFE, but like, the reality is I just don't look at it any different than physical health. It's no different, right? Like, physical health and mental health are if you break a leg, well, you ain't gonna keep walking on it, right? You're gonna go get a cast. If you're depressed, well, go get some help, right? Start dialing in on what you need to do. You got anxiety? That's not normal, right? Go get some help. But first, where we're messed up, man, is you go and you get help for your cast, and what the doctor says is, hey, look, I'm gonna put this cast on you, immobilize it the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then we'll start rehabbing it back. And, the rehab work on it's gonna help maintain it, and then you can start getting back after it, right? Mental health, they go in, and it's like, oh, you got anxiety? Well, I'm gonna throw you this medication, this benzo. Instead of me looking at you and saying, hey man, how much caffeine are you taking in? How much sleep are you getting? Are you exercising? What are you eating? Are you eating a shit ton of sugar? Never. That's not happening. Instead, it's like, hey, I'm gonna throw this pill at you, right? And so it's kind of like, you can be wherever the hell you want to be, right? Depression doesn't have to last forever. Anxiety doesn't have to last forever, and neither does PTSD. Right? All these things are overcomable. People have done it forever. It's just about if you want to, right?
It was so fascinating listening to you basically have that conversation with somebody who was like, I'm a truck driver, 10 pounds overweight, and you're like, how much caffeine you drinking? How much exercise you getting? This is what you could do. You could go to an H-E-B instead of the truck stop to get better food. And it was like, wow, you literally are in that moment helping him, coaching him into a better reality.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, it took that for me, right? There's nothing unique about me, right? Like, everything that I put back out is like something somebody put into me. I was just fortunate that, like, I had those people do that, right? I mean, I didn't grow up knowing about nutrition, right? I mean, we're the processed food generation, right? And to me, like, I mean, it was eat whatever the hell you could, whatever's most convenient, right? It's, and that's, I mean, and to look at it, right? Like, our lives today are more multidimensional than they've ever been in the history of human beings.
Yep.
And so there is that aspect of it. But it takes the same time to prep your meals and walk in the grocery store to get food as it does to eat shit food. Right? And so it just comes down to your decisions. Right? And it comes down to what you want. And it goes back to your box. It goes back to your box. Right? And so, yeah, just like that guy, I mean, you know, it comes down to the three principles, you know, and people go in and talk to mental health aspect of it. Mental health and counselors, they're just like trainers in the gym. You can go get the best trainer and you can get the best nutritionist. But if you aren't going to apply it and you don't have goals, it ain't going to do you no good. You can't pay your way out of physical health or mental health.
You got to decide to do it on your own.
You got to decide to do it on your own. And guess what? Being fat and depressed is just as hard as getting up and working out and doing what it takes to be healthy and not depressed.
How long did you make that did it take you to make that realization?
I mean, it took me a long time, right? I mean, it took me a long time. I mean, I would say you're talking 2019 to 2020 time frame, right? 2018 probably.
So 2009, 10-ish
10.
to 2018,
Yeah, I mean,
19.
I mean, what makes me the sickest of all of it is that I wasted 8 years of my life.
Wow.
I wasted 8 years of my life, you know, in my 20s.
Is there anything that could have been done to speed that period up? Not for yourself right now. What's done is done, but for people in that right now.
You know, don't get around a bunch of people that, like, if you look at everybody around you and you don't like what you see, you got to fix that first. There's a reason that AA works. There's a reason that you know, alcoholics don't go to the bar. You know what I mean? There's a reason that people who work out hang around people who work out, right? I mean, you are what you're surrounded by. That's a fact, right?